Rob, mathematically, we haven't got halfway through the season yet. I think your best goal tally was 21. You're behind the sort of time that you would have scored those 21 in Oxford because we're November, December. You've got till January to catch up with that. But overall season goals with 11 so far, you should be able to do it this year.
Yeah, possibly. First things first, got back in the side last week, so on a short term, I got to make sure that I stay there. And then obviously I know by scoring goals I'll do that.
How do you feel, though, generally, the changes that are having to be made, but injuries, suspensions, all right, some in the back, etc., have they affected the last few weeks?
I don't think so. Histon, the two home league games, Histon and Eastbourne, we had the majority of the chances. It was just two of them days where it just didn't fall for us really. And I think second half at Forest Green, same again. We were the dominant team, but we were already one goal behind.
There's a need, obviously, to get that winning feeling again. And if you look at a league table, if that tells you anything, this is an obvious opportunity. Ebbsfleet United, struggling right at the bottom of the league and without a single victory at home this season. On paper, it looks like one where you guys should really scoop the 3 points.
Definitely, but so's the last three games. We haven't. We've managed 2 draws and obviously the defeat in the FA Cup. So it's not a game played on paper. It's out there. They're going to have 11 men, all fighting for their lives, fighting for their careers, and for the future of Ebbsfleet. And so it's going to be a tough game.
You've been to Ebbsfleet, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it tied in?
No. It's okay. It's when you go to places like Ebbsfleet and look around, it makes you appreciate the surroundings that we play here every week. And it's another one of them games. I think it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be ugly. We're going to have to roll our sleeves up, work hard from the start, and grind out another result.
A lot of this season, a lot of footballers go through this. You've carried injuries. I mean, somebody once told me that footballers are never really without pain, or at least they say they're not. But how are you actually feeling at the moment? How are you physically feeling at the moment? Are you still carrying injuries?
No, touch wood, the ankle's cleared up. I still get days where it aches or a slight pain in it, but as far as games are concerned, I'm getting through fine. I sat out a couple of games, so I'm feeling a bit fresher as well.
Let me take you on to a game on Tuesday, the one at Gateshead where Darryl Clare's been, and you've played alongside Darryl. He's a teammate of yours after all. Will you be sort of having a quiet word in his ear and say, where can I have an advantage here? Who's a bit weak on the right foot or the left foot or whatever?
Yeah, I speak to Clare about different things because obviously he's got a lot of experience at this level, and his record speaks for himself. So it's always to learn and pick his brains whenever he can of someone like Darryl. So yeah, I'll have a word with him, but you got to respect the fact that whilst he's still a Mansfield Town player, he's playing for Gateshead at the moment.
You've never been in that difficult position that Darryl Clare's in. I mean, and if some awkward reporter said to you, who would you want to win? I mean, what would you say?
It's a tough one because obviously he's doing his best. He's doing his best for Gateshead, but obviously Mansfield are his employers at the end of the day. So I don't know. I've never been in a situation, so it's a tough one.
Kyle Perry, who's injured, tells me that gives him a bit more time to concentrate on his guitar and the fact he's learning it, and he belongs to this heavy metal band that will one day overtake the world. Have you heard any of his singing?
No, but I've heard plenty of stories like that from Pezzer. He comes up with one every week. I think he was going to Hollywood to be in the movies a couple of weeks ago, and now he's telling me he's got a band going. So it'll be interesting. I'll go and have some breakfast with him and pick his brains over that one as well.
What about you when you're not playing? And I know how concentrated you are on wanting to score goals and win for Mansfield Town. How does Rob Duffy spend his time? How do you relax?
Just wherever I feel like doing, really. Whether it's with friends or just at home. I do a lot of studying. I'm in the middle of a course at the minute, so that takes up a bit of my free time. And I'll just catch up with mates, and if I've got no studying on, I'll catch up with mates and relax, really.
I'm told you're a bit of an academic. I mean, what are you actually studying at the moment?
I wouldn't have said academic. It's a struggle every time I pick up the book. It's not something that come easy to me. Even when I was at school, I didn't like it, but it's something that you need to do as you get older. I'm just studying to start the degree in physiotherapy, hopefully in September. So hopefully I can get all the work in and done by that time.
That obviously what you want to do when you finish with football. You're not thinking of management. Why physiotherapy? Because of all the injuries you've had yourself.
Yeah, in a nutshell, I think it always helps if you've had a physio that have played and can understand the footballer and the way he's feeling and thinking. And I think it's a job with a lot of satisfaction when you work with someone who's injured and are feeling really low, and then you work through the week with them, and then you see them out on a Saturday. And I think it's a career that I'd love to get into.
Do you watch the physio at Mansfield? Not only when he's working on you, because you could be your best example, couldn't you? At the moment, you could be the test case. You could write the dissertation on yourself, couldn't you? Yeah. But do you watch
for this season either?
Do you talk to Jason about the way he's treating people and things like that?
Yeah, I speak to Jason about a few things. He runs through scans with me. The lads that have been injured have been for scans. He'll get them up on the computer and he'll talk me through them. And it's just nice to pick up little bits and pieces, however important or unimportant that they are. Obviously, Jace is qualified, so every little helps.
Just finally, I was looking at the Professional Footballers Association magazine, and it was showing a whole bunch of guys who'd qualified with degrees in physiotherapy. Is that exactly what you're going to go for, the whole degree?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a part-time course. The PFA put it on for pros and ex-pros, so it's 1 day a week over 4 years. And it's something that really interests me, and that I'm going to go for.
Well, Lee, there's one thing, you know roughly the area of the East Midlands, don't you?
Yeah, I've been around here for quite a while, and I still live in Derby, so yeah, this is quite handy for me, really.
Nigel Clough just up the road now with Derby County. And Derby County aside, you spent some time with, wasn't it?
Yeah, a good few years back now. Like, I left in, I think it was 2004. So it was a while ago, yeah, but it's nice to see Nige there, and hopefully he can turn things around a bit.
You played at Burton Albion. Did you play at Burton Albion when they were both non-league and league?
No, I left in summer, unfortunately. We got the promotion, and Pesky Slido came in, and then I don't think he fancied me, so that was it, I'm afraid.
All right, we'll leave that part of the conversation where it is. Persuasion to come to Mansfield Town, why?
Well, I played with a gaffer when I was at Sheffield United with him a good few years ago, and when I heard he was interested, I jumped at the chance.
Why? Because you thought he was a great player, or what? He'll be watching this, by the way, when you answer that question.
Well, he was a good player, yeah, but he's a good bloke as well, and he was captain when I was at Sheffield United, so I've got a lot of respect for him, really, for that, and yeah, he's a nice fella.
If you were asked a difficult question of what you bring to Mansfield Town, difficult though it is, what would your answer be?
Well, hopefully I'm a bit direct. I like to run in behind defenders and whatnot, so hopefully I can bring a bit more to the attacking side of the game, really.
Have you had a chance to train with the players? Yes, I think you have, haven't you?
Yeah, we trained, had a little practice match on Wednesday, but it was a bit windy. It was quite hard conditions, really. So we're in training this morning, and hopefully I'll get to know the lads a bit better. First
game away at Ebbsfleet United, a side that haven't won a game at home yet. You'll be hoping that you'll be making a start in that one, won't you?
Yeah, well, that's up for the gaffer, really. That's not my decision. We'll have to wait and see on that, but it's a place I think we're going there looking to try and get a good result, that's for sure.
Do you believe that what you've seen, I mean, it's a short-term time so far, of Mansfield means that they're a club that have got the wherewithal to be up there or thereabouts when it gets to the business end of the season?
Yeah, well, I've come and watched a couple of games this season, and I think from what I've seen so far, they've got a good chance here. You're not in the position they'd be in unless they had a good crack at things, so I definitely think they've got a shot.
Apart from the David Holsworth, who else do you know inside the Mansfield squad?
Craig Armstrong, that's it. Craig came to Burton for a couple of months last season, and I went on loan to Huddersfield when he was there a good few years ago. So I know him, but he's quite boring, so I'm trying to avoid him.
Yeah, he was described by one person who actually could talk you to sleep.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he is, to be honest. But he's all right, to be fair.
Okay, well, ambitions for the season for you personally?
Well, hopefully I can stay here over Christmas, have a good crack at it, and then into the new year we'll just have to see what happens.
At the moment, though, would your desire be, if it's going well, to remain at Mansfield Town?
Well, I think that's something a bridge we'll have to cross after Christmas and into the new year. I've only just arrived here, so we'll have to see how it goes. If I do well, then, like I say, we'll take it from there.
Do you believe you'll do well?
Yeah, that's what I've come here. I've come here to play and do well, and yeah, I don't see why not.